Feel me? It's a continuation. You already know what time it is. Off the bus, like woo, 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 woo. This is how niggas get hit by a car. Trying to operate a device and still watching out for safety. Can't do both, man. Feel me? Safety first, then operate the device. That's how you do both. It's one after the other. It's 1 and 2. You don't start from 2 and 2. And disregard the safety first, then second. Be humble in your approach. Anyway, look, man. Sometimes, man, people with good intention can become haters. You feel me? It's true. It's the fact that you count somebody out. When you count somebody out, right? And that person happens to, let's just say, prove you wrong. And this is not about me personally. I just see this in many, just see this in general. Let's say you count somebody out. You count something out. You count a team out. You count a person out. You count a loved one out. You gave up on a person because you thought that person this nigga just ain't gonna amount to nothing. You feel me? I done counted, even in my own life, I counted some lovers out, thinking that bitch ain't gonna amount to shit. And she finally amounted to something that you like, damn, why did I let that go? That's one thought. Oh, damn, I want that bitch back. 2 thoughts. Damn, I hate that bitch. I wish it can fail, because that's your ego now, because you've counted her out. You feel me? Because you wanted good for her. You provided a resource for her and everything. This is just an example. Please don't judge me. You feel me? And I don't want you niggas start digging up history and trying to find a girl. There's a reason why I don't like even using girls. But I like to use relationships because we are all in a relationship with some kind of format. You feel me? We always in a relationship with a man and a woman. Whether it's a father and daughter, not sexually, so I said relationship. Whether it's a father and daughter, a husband and wife, mother and son. You feel me? There's always relationship between the two genders. So that's why when I use example, I try to use the opposite of me. You feel me? And I'm not gonna say Steven and Steve. No, nigga. I'm on the baby shit, nigga. We gonna speak truth to light. And if you wanna cancel a nigga, cancel me, nigga. Fuck, nigga. And he ain't even say nothing too crazy. But that's another subject. It's funny how niggas trying to cancel people for something that he said that people really do. But anyway, man. So, people with good intentions sometimes hate. People with good intentions sometimes have flaws. You feel me? They do. That's because when you count somebody out, or you give up on a person, or you just didn't think much of that person, and that person happens to do something out of the ordinary. You feel me? They happen to break a mold. They happen to push through. Guess what happens? A person with good intention who really wanted that person to want to win at one point, who literally threw his or her hands up and said, oh, I give up on this individual. And that person seemed to do good. Guess what happened? Some people, I'm not saying all, some people tend to want to work against that person so they can make that moment of them throwing their hands up be legitimate. Because they want that moment to be right. They want to be right, even though at once upon a time, there was the one on the other side who was rooting for that individual to make it happen. But since it didn't happen on their time, and it happened on the time when they give up on this person, secretly, there's a feeling that exists where people tap into, where this person or individual's group, he, she, it, or they, seems to want that to happen for they seems to be like, damn, I want to sabotage this, because now they seems to want to work against something that they used to root for, because it didn't happen on the time when they was rooting for it. It happened at the time when they gave up on that specific. It could be an item, team, person, boy or girl. I like to use girls. Feel me? But I don't want to complicate the thing and take away from the topic itself. There are people out there with good intentions. You feel me? But good intentions, but are also selfish and greedy in the way they assess things. You feel me? When you assess a thought, or when you assess a feeling, or when you assess your intentions, it goes through a filter. And if your filter is tainted with greed, and it's tainted with jealousy, it's tainted with hatred in any form or shape, then guess what? Your result is not going to come out the best way it's supposed to. You're not going to have longitude in holding on to things. You feel me? So you have people who have good intentions, who want to see you do good and everything else like that. But over a long period of time, after they have supported you and things didn't come out the way they want to come out, and they give up on you, and finally it works through, they tend to want to have some kind of dislike for you. And this has nothing to do with me, just for the record, because I hate when I speak about certain subject, and I have no problem attaching the story to me. I have no problem attaching stories to me. Trust me. Most of the time, people always say, you make it too personal about you. Stop, get out your feelings. This, that, and the third. But this is the problem too. When I get out my feelings and start speaking on topics and things that I cannot attach myself to, people will tell me, people will try to find another way to try to attach me to the story itself. And I'm like, you see, this is the problem. There's a reason why every story I tell, I try to relate to it in some form of fashion. I try to attach myself to it in form of fashion. But if it has nothing to do with me, and I say it has nothing to do with me, they tell the same people who complain about get out your feelings, you shouldn't attach yourself to every story, will tell me that, oh, it do have something to do with you because you said it has nothing to do with you. They take away from this topic and everything else because they made me deviate right now. But anyway, there is a feeling and emotion out there where the thing that you've been rooting for and you finally going against it, it's like I use a basketball team. It's like the Knicks. I've been going for the Knicks for years and years and years. Then I don't know why I started hating on them. Because they have been losing for so long, I'll start to dislike them. You start to despise them. Because the love, there's a thin line between love and hate. You heard about that story? Because there's been many nights where I fucking hated the Knicks. I can't even lie, man. You love them so much that you're like, what the fuck? How you missed that dunk, Patrick? It was supposed to be a dunk. This nigga try to lay up the ball. It's like you just want to walk away and just throw up your hands. That kind of feeling. You feel me? There could be the same thing in relationships. And it's like now you start to despise something that you love so hard. Then after you give up on this thing, they start to do good. Now, do you turn around and be like, man, I was always a Knicks fan. I'll never give up on these niggas. Or do you start to have that feeling that I'm really talking about where you secretly want them to feel? Because it didn't happen on your time. It didn't happen when you was rooting for them. You feel me? Let it pass. Now they get it. You feel me? Now you secretly want them to feel. Now they're doing good. It seems like the garden is back in motion. And it's like everybody throwing their hands up. Yeah. And you're like, damn, that shit ain't happening on my time. I mean, you don't think of it like that, but in term, it is what it is. It's like it didn't happen on your time. It didn't happen on the time that you was rooting for them. It didn't happen on the time when you invested emotion and love into them. But as soon as you gave up on them for some strange reason, it seems to be working. It seems to be going great. Now you feel like, damn, if I go back and start rooting for them, I feel phony. I feel like a hypocrite. But there's people out there who's in the same position as you who hasn't felt like that. They jump right in it without missing a beat. And they did the same thing you did, to throw their hands up and be like, I gave up on this nigga. They suck. But as soon as they start doing good, jump back right on the dig. They wearing orange and blue. You feel me? But you tend to wear your heart on your sleeve. You have tend to love a little more than maybe the first individual. You tend to be a little more frustrated about the fact that it didn't work out when you wanted it to work out. So you feel like I got to play the other side. I want this emotion of me giving up to work. I don't want that team to have success without having my support. Because now I don't support them. I want them to fail. Because when I was supporting them, they wasn't doing good. So now that I'm with this feeling now, I want that feeling to be a go. You see how that shit works? Some people just don't know how to articulate that feeling like that. They don't know how to pinpoint it and be like, this is what is going on. It's not the fact that it's not the fact that they hate the person. It's just that they're caught up in their emotions. You feel me? Just that they like, it's so much love there that they do not, it's like somebody can love you so much that they don't want it to happen on your terms now. They've overloved you to the point where you've hurt them by not, it's like you've hurt them by not seeing it, by you not seeing it through that it happened on daytime. It shouldn't have to matter what time it happened on. They should want good for you regardless of how long it takes. If it takes the process that long for it to happen, they're supposed to have patience with you. That's the long run of it. Let it go. Put them on camera since they're looking for attention. You get your ass beat if you ever try something. Anyway, you feel me? This is what's really going on. You feel me? When you put your heart and soul into something, you're supposed to put it in for the long run. It's like investing sometimes. You're supposed to invest for the long run. I know I ain't talking, but it's true. I usually pull my shit out fast, B. But true indeed, man. You feel me? But you're supposed to put it in for the long run. In any emotion, love, anything. It's for the long run. You build wealth for the long run. You build your love for. If I meet a girl right now, right, I'm not thinking about summer. I ain't thinking about the winter. We ain't signed a contract that say, well, let's see how this relationship work in 3 years. We really trying to build for the long run. At least that's the hope of it. And if it doesn't work out, I guess, you cancel it and go on your own way. But truthfully, everybody get into a relationship thinking long term. Long term. I don't think you should get into anything if it doesn't have long term on it. You feel me? We always build for the long term. We always do that. Unless things happen and you abuse and other things, assault. Then you can deviate. You feel me? When things like this happen, then you can deviate. But everybody think about things in the long term. But that's not the story. I'm talking about. Let's take on the topic. I'm talking about the kind of, it's not even hate. I can't even call it hate. The kind of misunderstanding where a person who seemed to used to root for you. It could be your mother. It could be your wife. It could be your father. It could be your husband. It could be your brother. It could be your sister. It could be a best friend of yours. You feel me? A person who seems to root for you. Hold on, I'm here early. Yes, I am. 30 minutes still. So I'm going to do a little fake circle walk around. A person who seems to used to root for you. You seems to be fucking up after fucking up. Maybe you got on drugs. And maybe you fumbled the money. Maybe you had a gambling problem. You feel me? Maybe you cheated on her. You just wasn't there mentally yet. And that person grow to hate you. And when you start doing good and you was like, yo, thank you for believing in me. You feel me? Once upon a time, you feel me? You believed in me and everything else like that. You thought I wasn't listening, but I was actually paying attention. I appreciate that. And you try to explain yourself to that person, but you don't know in the back of that person's mind, they really want you to feel. Because it hurt them. You took so much out of them. You feel me? You have taken so much out of them when they used to believe in you. Now that you're doing good and the thing that they wanted to see come through has come into fruition. But it just didn't happen the time that it was supposed to happen. But then again, what time was it supposed to happen? Was it because of that person's selfishness? What was it about that moment in time that had that person? You see? What was it about that moment in time? What kind of place is this? I didn't never even pay attention. Very interesting. Don't put nothing on the table. This is the reason why I always hold shit like this, because I don't want to put people address, mailbox, or the surroundings. Sometimes these niggas will track you down off the cloud. Oh, this cloud was on the Pacific coast. And that's the only, and they'll track you down, my nigga, I ain't even gonna lie to you. But what was it about that person in that particular time that made you want to believe in that person? Did it benefit you in some kind of way? These are legitimate questions that you have to ask these individuals, you feel me? Maybe things just fell out. Maybe you believe in that person so much that it depleted you. It emotionally robbed you. And they probably took your energy and became what they are today. Maybe you have a legitimate reason for hating this individual. You feel me? Maybe. You feel me? There could be a lot of excuses. I can't call it. I'm trying to be reasonable in how I think about this thing. You feel me? And I try to be fair in my assessments of how I see it for real, for real. You dig? What was it about that? Because you used to support this person so heartily. Y'all used to be the best of friends. Y'all probably slept in the same bed together. Y'all probably was business partners. You feel me? Y'all probably built it from the ground up. Y'all probably did it together. Y'all probably was inseparable. But yet, once you gave up on that person, everything seems to go good for that person. Maybe. You feel me? All right, 30 minutes. I gotta keep talking to you, I guess. You feel me? Nah, I'm good. Good looking though. You feel me? Maybe. And I done had relationships where I'm pretty sure Shorty wanted me to do this, do that, and I couldn't have done it, and I'm still working on doing it. And maybe in the future, she probably gonna be mad when she see me somewhere and she like, damn, this nigga's doing good. And it's like, how come you didn't do this thing when I wanted you to do it? How come now it's working out for you? How come when I was with you for 7 years, you ain't do none of the things that I wanted you to do, but now you found a new bitch and you bought her car? That's my car, and that is my house, bitch. This nigga wanna do good now when he with that white bitch. You feel me? It be like that sometimes, you feel me? This nigga that made it, but became a lotto, won the lotto, now he wanna be with that nasty hoe. You feel me? Sometimes it be like that, you feel me? But it's like you put in all that work for somebody else to get a result out of it. And you had good intentions. And now a person who had, now you have, let it pass by. Look at them. If it's laughter, you feel me? They they're trying to be creative in how they become. It's like people are assholes, right? And when you call them on them being an asshole, they become creative on being more of an asshole. You feel me? Like, how can you be creative in being a jerk? Like, they're not supposed to mix. Same things are a bad combination. You feel me? It just don't, like ice cream and soda, just to give a few, they seems to be made out of sugar, but it's just a bad combination to add both of them together and try to mix them. I'm pretty sure somebody has done it. I'm pretty sure it does not taste good. And if it do taste good, then that's one hell of a combination. But some things are just bad combination. It's just bad to add in together. You feel me? Anyway, the people with good intentions, that's how do you, people with good intentions sometimes become haters. They do, because they feel like they've put in so much work, they believed in you so much, and they've supported you so much, and sometimes it just didn't work out on their timetable. You feel me? Was they doing it for a personal benefit where they can rip off the benefit and it didn't happen on their timetable? That's why they mad, because they invested in something but they didn't get nothing back out of it? Did it do that a really good intention? Was it really a good intention? Because your intentions is supposed to do something without necessarily receiving something back. Or they just did it out of a good investment, not good intention. Because investment is something that you put something into and you hopeful that you get something back. Because you can lose money when you invest things too. But everybody who invests is not thinking about losing money. They're thinking about gaining money. You feel me? So people with good intentions sometimes can be haters. They sometimes resort to hate. You feel me? And the reason why they resort to hate, because the intent. What's she doing? And the reason why they resort to hate, because sometimes the intention wasn't a good intent to begin with. You feel me? Yeah, they had an intention. They probably had expectation. They probably like, yeah, I mean, he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that, and guess what? If he get this job, then this is what it's going to do, and this is how we're gonna do for him. Or if the Knicks win a championship, it's going to make my city look good, and it's gonna bring me joy, and I'm gonna be happy about it, because I'm a diehard fan. And it's like, it didn't happen on my time, so it's like, fuck it, I want them to fail now. You feel me? I want these niggas to fail because it did not happen on my time. Not that I'm going against them, guess what? I always want bad results. You feel me? I always want bad results. Like, you have to understand these things, man. Oh, Lord, I hate when people act so tough. Nigga, you too small. You better have a gun or something on you. What up? What's happening, man? Huh?
Being that kind of like it rest when you test my mind. Blessed on the best of my time. Better press to a wine. See so much shit sometimes I thought it'd be best to be blind. Spending my time checking the blind. Wanna rest with that eye. Let's get you check with that nine. Don't get me prep for the ride. Spending my time checking the blind. Wanna rest with that eye.
Yeah, I'm not from around here. But he wouldn't know that. If he knew that, he'd be like, word? Anyway, so we just gotta be mindful of the things that what do we do it for? You feel me? What do we do it for? You feel me? This one took a lot out of me. I can't even lie. You feel me? It really did, man. It did. It just, you know, it hits so many places. You feel me? It really does. It hits home. It hits relationships. It hits job. It hits myself. You feel me? It hits so many places. It hits entertainment. It hits politics. It hits so many places. This subject in itself. People with good intentions sometimes hate, man. Everybody can relate to this topic itself. You feel me? People who have good, people have, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. People do hate. And it's like, are they really evil for the things that they do? It's the consistency of it that we got to question from now on. Feel me? Hold on, let me show y'all niggas. It's the consistency of it. Through the mirror itself, as I speak to y'all, you can see the front of me and the back of me. I'm giving you all that I have. This is me. It's not like I'm showing you a face. Then when I turn my back, I show you a different person. No, I'm showing you a mirror that's showing my back, and yet the camera is showing my face. And that tells you the truth in itself, that I'm giving you all I got, man. Feel me? People lied on me. Every time something, in conclusion, by the way, because I'm about to go in. Every time something seems to go in right, people want to come around and sabotage these things. It's not because they are bad people. It's just that, you know what I mean? It's like they believed in you at one point, and it seems like if things don't work out the way they want it to work out, they want to sabotage it because it's like they want it to happen on their time. It has to happen on my time. Because if it doesn't happen on my time, then it seems like what kind of feeling is it? Because it has not happened on my time. You feel me? We need it to happen on our time. We become selfish in how we assess these things. We want it to happen on our time. And if it doesn't happen on our time, we feel unspecial. It's like, how come it didn't happen on my time? You feel me? How come when I call shot, it didn't go in, but when somebody else called shot, it went in? You feel me? We become so attached that we become possessive. with somebody else's accomplishment. This is why being a celebrity is so dangerous. Because people are quick to cancel you for something that you honestly... We want people to come out and speak their mind, honestly. We don't want people just making things up just to make it up, just so... No, we want people to come out honestly and speak on these things. And if a person step out of line, we want to educate them and be like, hey, da-da-da. Like, I want to sit down and speak to you about what you said, da-da-da. You feel me? Like the Jewish community did with Nick Cannon, and they seem to have resorted and they're moving in the right direction, hopefully. That's the same thing they should do with the baby and everything else like that. If a gay homosexual, not Elton Brand, talking about, well, I'm canceling him too. Man, get the fuck out of here. Sit down with the man and speak to him. He didn't say nothing wrong. He said something. Y'all niggas do suck dick. Nigga, that's what y'all like to do. Y'all do. What else can y'all do? Y'all suck dick. What else? You suck dick. Like, what is that? Is that bad now? I don't understand that. Is it the way he said it? Then, come out and be like, look, man, what you said was da-da-da. Break it down to him. Feel me? It's not the man that I know. He seems to be... People are taking it to a whole nother... I work with him and he seems to be changing. Y'all niggas is hypocrites. You feel me? Stop being a hypocrite. How about that? You feel me? Sit down with the man and explain yourself to him and tell him how you feel. If it's through Twitter, or if you got his personal number, if you work with him, you could have called him. You feel me? And be like, hey, da-da-da, you know what I mean? Just like me and you work together and we had a video shoot and everything else, I want to work together with you by sitting down and really shoot this video about this conversation. But yeah, we can have a song together, but yeah, you can't call me and speak to me about these things. Come on, man. This is what I was talking about my last video about referral. People know your intent. They know your intel is good. They know you got good information and good knowledge and good head on your shoulder. But when things... When the noise gets too loud, people seem to cave in. You feel me? They seem to cave in. They sealed it. Conceal your fate with their decision and be like, well, I don't want to get involved, so let me get on the crowd. And people seem to, when things is going bad, it seems like you're down by a few points and people just give up on you. Then we'll jump right back on your dick. Stay away from people like that, man. Far away from people like that. If you got to go to Mars to stay away from people like that in your mind, of course, because wherever you go, there you are. It didn't matter the fact that I was in the East Coast and I came to the West Coast. Wherever I go, there I am. You feel me? You cannot run from yourself. So the notion that people were saying that I was running from somebody was an oxymoron, because I understand that saying very clearly, that wherever I go is there I am. You feel me? Because you even have technology, even bring people that much closer to you. So who was I really running from? You can't run from yourself, nigga. You feel me? People are begging you and telling you like, yo, New York is open, come through, da-da-da. Not really begging you and shit like that. It's all games to them. But this is my life and shit like that, you feel me? Just like anybody else, it's just another topic for these people to talk on. And base their opinion. This in conclusion again. They base their opinion not on your experience and what happened to you and everything else like that. They cannot it's very hard for individuals, the average individual, to separate him or herself from an opinion towards you. You feel me? They always going to include themselves in it. They have to. It's almost damn near impossible not for you to include yourself in a conversation or a conclusion when you're talking about somebody else. So when these people make their final assessments and they speak on these things, they're not talking about you. They're really talking about themselves when they inject themselves into a conversation and have an opinion. They will inject the insecurity. If it's positive, they will inject the positive, and they will inject the good outlook, or they can inject the bad outlook. It's all based on that individual. You feel me? Understand that. Anyway, man, I'm waiting on the door to be open. It seems like I'm the only nigga here. What time do we start, my G? Is everybody gonna be late? Here I am worrying about starting late, and this shit is empty as fuck. And parking lot empty. Parking lot ticking. But yeah, man, in conclusion, man, look, man, sometimes people don't. They're not. Hold on, I'll holler at y'all later.